passion, which is law. Hopefully we can get into that.
That's great. It's so good to see you. I haven't seen you since the lockdown.
Yeah, unfortunately, but hopefully you'll see me more now and often.
Inshallah, inshallah.
You're in the office.
Where are you? I'm sorry, Ejebola, where are you from then?
Well, I'm from Nigeria.
Wonderful, great. Damalola, he's from Nigeria.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he's teaching the environment, health, and safety. His expertise is in the area of sustainable development, energy law, environmental law. So yeah, he'll be on in just a minute. We still got 3 more minutes before folks can come on, but yeah. So.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Just waiting on a few more folks to get on. And
sure.
So how is it? 110 degrees right now. But David, I've been down to Mexico City a lot. I have good friends down there.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of friends that are interested in the matter, in the sports law and in the sports in the law. In Mexico, there is a few studies about this, and we need to expand the contents of this matter.
Right. I used to go down to Panamericana University and visit the law faculty there, and also to UNAM.
I know. In fact, I teach in UNAM, in the Universidad Iberoamericana.
Iberoamericana, yep.
Yes,
great.
I am a professor of law at these universities.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah, Panamericana is so pretty. It's located in the heart of the city in a quite commercial area, and you go through a gate and then you feel like you're in Europe. You know, it's so beautiful. It's just gorgeous. My colleague, Barry Solomon just got on. Barry, do you want to put your video on so you can introduce yourself as well?
Yes, hold on. I'm currently trying to sort that out. My firewall's blocking the video. I'll be one moment.
Oh my. So David, what are you teaching then in the law faculties?
Art law.
Yeah. Oh, ad law. Okay.
Art law, see. Yes, art law.
And Professor Kalo is going to chime in, and Professor Damalola. Professor Kalo is zooming in from Chicago.
Okay.
And then Dr. Damalola Olowi is here with us in Doha.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever knew, there was a wonderful professor, Guillermo Margadant. I don't know if you ever knew him. Yeah.
I know him.
Yeah, he was just a wonderful professor. He used to come teach in Texas, so that's how I got to know him.
Okay.
And I see Christopher has joined us. Christopher, welcome. I'm Susan Fermanian, the Dean of Hamad bin Khalifa University College of Law. We're about ready to get started. We're just waiting for a few people to join. If you want to say a few words of introduction, feel free to do so.
Hi, thanks very much. I'm joining you from the UK in sunny Kent.
Oh, wonderful. Great. It's pretty sunny here in Doha. It's very sunny, isn't it?
I imagine it's much sunnier than it is here, yes, all the time, yeah.
Oh, great.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you as well. We're just waiting on a couple of the other faculty and just have a few words of introduction. What do you do up in Kent, Christopher?
I've just finished studying law at London South Bank University, so I'm kind of in between what I'm doing next. I'm looking for some work at the moment.
Oh, good. Yeah, difficult environment with the
Exactly, yeah.
the virus.
Hmm.
My colleague Barry Solomon is from England. He's on. He's having a hard time getting his video working, but he's from up there near Newcastle.
Oh, right, yeah. The exact opposite end of me, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just give it a minute or two. A few more.
Hi, Leah. Can you hear us?
Hi, yes, hello from the Philippines. It's 9 o'clock here.
Oh, hi, Leah. Welcome.
Hi.
I'm Susan Karmanian, and I'm the Dean of Hamad bin Khalifa University College of Law. Welcome.
Thank you, Susan. I'm actually I have a business in sports, and it's actually it's something, yeah, it's something like if you'd allow me to explain, it's something for kids who to get into sports and things like that. So yeah, I'm just here to learn a bit more from you guys.
Well, wonderful.
Okay, my video is finally working.
Oh, there we go. That's Professor Solomon, who
Hello,
is...
everyone. I've had a bit of fun with a new firewall, which seems intent to protect my webcam from being exploited, but there's a button I had to turn off. So
Great. I think we're just waiting on Dr. Damalola and also Zach.
apparently Zach's waiting to be allowed into the room, so I don't know if that's something for the admin.
Oh, Elizabeth,
He's
you
already
may want
clicked the
to...
link.
I bet you Damalola has the same issue too then. Elizabeth, are you able to connect him in? Oh, you're muted.
Zachary Carlo is here. Good. Okay, let me get Damilola.
Okay, great. Thanks. Hello, Professor Kayla. How are you? Unmute, please, Zach.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. From sunny Chicago, huh?
Well, not today. We may get rained on.
Oh, okay, great. We have some of our students on the line. We have Nigeria, we have Mexico, we have the Philippines, and we have the United Kingdom, all represented here. And of course, Qatar. Sorry, Khalid. Yeah, you're muted. Sorry, Khalid. Yeah.
Speaking to you.
Yeah, we wouldn't forget you. It's a very hot day today in Doha. It's 110 degrees. I just was outside and it was very, very hot. No wind. It's not humid, but it's quite hot out there. So. Elizabeth, is Damalola waiting? Do you know?
No, he's not waiting. I've just sent him an invite. I've sent him a reminder of how to join in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, why don't we get started? Because I know everybody's time is very valuable, and we have these vastly different time zones. With Leah ready probably to go to sleep, and some of us it's the end of the business day, and for others it's lunchtime, and for others it's coffee time. But first, let me again introduce myself. I'm Susan Karmanian, and I'm the Dean of the Hamad bin Khalifa University College of Law. And it gives me great pleasure to welcome some of you to our course on navigating legal and commercial aspects of sports. Of course, that is on the WebEx platform, and our students here have registered for it. And if I could take a second and introduce a couple of my colleagues as well. Just by way of background, before I do that, I'm an avid sports woman. I've played sports my whole life, and my specific sport is golf. And so in the program, I have a couple of golf hypotheticals. I had to include those. But I also practiced law in Dallas, Texas for 14 years, and dealt a lot with contract related issues. I worked on matters that were related to the entertainment business now and then, which tends to overlap a bit with sports, as dealing with particularly on the IP front and copyright related issues and the like. But I'm delighted to first introduce my colleague, Professor Zachary Kalo, who is a historian, having a PhD in history as well as a law degree, and he is quickly becoming one of the leading sports law authorities here in the Middle East, and we're delighted that he was recently named to the Sports Tribunal here in Qatar as an arbitrator on a list of very prominent arbitrators. But he's been teaching our sports law course here, and he provides the initial overview module, as well as the module on dispute resolution. And then Professor Barry Solomon, who has been teaching here at the university now in his just completed his second or third year, right, Professor Solomon, and who works in the area of a lot of area works in the area of torts. He's one of the country's leading experts in the area of healthcare law, been very busy in light of the pandemic and the like. From examples, loves football. He's not far from that Newcastle Stadium that we've seen if you go on your way up to Edinburgh, that the big stadium up there. And he's teaching the module dealing with non-contractual liabilities, what we refer to as torts. And so, Professor Kalo, do you want to say a few words from the balcony there in Chicago? What inspires you in the world of sports law, and why you're excited about this class?
Yeah, well, welcome everyone. I'm getting some strange feedback.
I'll mute. We'll make sure everybody mutes.
Yeah, I think it's perhaps best if everybody puts their microphones on mute when not speaking. Well, good morning, everyone. Greetings from Chicago. Very pleased to welcome you to this course, which I hope you'll enjoy and find beneficial. I think one of the interesting features of sports law, and certainly one of the ideas that animates this course, is that sports law is, of course, a body of law that can apply in a narrow way to sport. That is, the sorts of things that concern players and clubs and governing bodies in their relationships on and off the field. But sport law is a huge business, more broadly defined, $500 billion. And part of what we will try to do here is to broaden our sense of what we think of when we talk about sport law. We see that it runs through all sorts of areas of law, from tort to injury to anti-corruption. And so there's so many opportunities, not simply in sport law narrowly defined, but in all sorts of fields of law and business that touch on sports. So especially for people who are interested in sport or entertainment, this is a wonderful field to get into, a growth area, obviously of importance to Qatar, but throughout the world. And so I think it will be a wonderful way to introduce you not only to sport law, but to different ways of legal thinking for those of you that aren't lawyers, and to different bodies of law that intersect in important and critical ways with the sporting field.
Great. Thank you so much, Professor Kalo, for that overview. One of the things you pick up very early in the class, the extent to which a relatively unregulated area has become regulated, and part of that is due to the fact that there's so much money at stake in sport compared to just 30 years ago. And with that we've seen our traditional contract tort principles apply, and then we've seen the development of unique institutions and unique legal principles that address sport largely in an exclusive way as well. So thank you. Professor Solomon, do you want to say a few words of welcome?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to echo what Professor Zach has just said. To welcome you all to this course. It's a very interesting and very unique course, and I think we're quite well placed to do it because we're based in Qatar, where the World Cup is going to be held. So there is so much going on here, both in terms of academia and just in terms of infrastructure and economy development and the like. So it's an exciting, I think, course to do with a law school that's right at the heart of the world's, probably along with the Olympics, the world's biggest sporting event that you could have. So it's an exciting place to be. So in terms of what you'll cover on my part of the course, I'll go through the what happens in the case of an injury in the sporting context. And this can be thought of quite broadly. So whether it is injuries caused by one player to another, whether it's an injury caused between a fan and a player, so perhaps a fan coming onto a pitch or a player harming a fan, or what happens to people in sporting venues when they are injured, what is the liability there? So there are a few different ways of looking at the issue of liability, and there are all sorts of examples and scenarios we'll go through, which I hope you'll find helpful during the course. So I've also noticed that Professor Damalola is on the line too, Susan.
Great, thank you so much, Professor Solomon. And so Professor Solomon's module is the third module, and then it is a wonderful introduction looking at principles of non-contractual liability, to then to go into issues of the environment and health and safety. And that module is being taught by Dr. Damalola Olowi, who is, I understand, on the line. Damalola, do you want to say a few words of welcome and give a little background about yourself and why you're excited about the class? Is that a football jersey you're wearing?
Yes. I think I must have overplayed it a little, but I thought because this was sports, I should come in my favorite, the jersey of my favorite team, you know, and I'll leave everyone to guess which team wears the green on the football field. But the only hint I can give you is that it's the country that will win the next World Cup in Qatar, and it starts with N, and it sounds like Nigeria. Anyway, that said, it's a pleasure to be part of this very innovative course. Professor Kalo already mentioned that sports law is so unique and important because it cuts across many fields. And my course, you know, highlights that intersection very well. The law is about compliance, and stakeholders in sports have a lot to comply with if they want to run successful events, right from the time of getting approvals, to the time of constructing the venues, to the time of organizing the events, until when it's over and you have to sort of recycle and clean up. There are a lot of laws and regulations that stipulate the best acceptable standards that organizers must comply with. And because there are so many laws, there are environmental laws, there are health laws, you know, it becomes almost very challenging for stakeholders to understand the scope of their obligations. So a course like this takes you through what you're expected to do from a compliance standpoint in terms of preventing noise pollution, preventing air pollution, preventing water pollution, preventing accidental trips in which people fall and break a leg or break a neck in events. These are all very crucial because failure to abide by these standards can attract severe sanctions, both from the international organizing bodies as well as from the local organizing committees at home. So I think students will enjoy learning about these compliance requirements and how to prevent non-compliance. Of course, there is a strong business case in terms of complying. No stakeholder, no company will want to pay a heavy fine for not complying. Whether it's a sports body or a marketing company or a supplier, the cost of not complying could be so severe. We've seen in many countries fines of up to $1 billion for failing to comply with a single requirement. So I think students will be well equipped to understand how to prepare and how to avoid significant regulatory fines in areas of environment, health, and safety. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Damalola. And just by way of my portion of the course, I start out in the second module. Professor Kalo gives the overview module 1, and then I'm going to be giving the contracts module. And in many of the modules, we're picking up on sort of the recognized general principles. And one of the things you always have to keep in mind is every jurisdiction could have its own rules. So we're trying to pick up things that tend to be uniform across jurisdictions, but there can be differences. I mean, after dealing with some of the basics of the contracts, we hear about the torts from Barry, and then we hear about the environment, health, and safety from Damalola. I'll be covering a fairly detailed module on labor rights, and also including some of the human rights elements to that, with a special focus on issues concerning discrimination as well as collective bargaining. And then I'm also giving the module on anti-corruption. It's one of these areas of the law I've been doing a good bit of work over the years. And in sport in particular, we have seen whether it be allegations of corruption in connection with bids. We go back to the Salt Lake City Games where this really started to take hold, as well as violations of codes of conduct of sport with in specific events, such as cheating or use of performance drugs. Looking at more of the substantive standards there, and then I know in Professor Kalo's section, looking at some of the dispute resolution ways in which these disputes are being involved. And all of us, I think, fair to say, are sports fans, but we're also lawyers, and we're very interested in seeing how this body of law develops over the years. And getting back to what Barry said, here in Qatar, sports is front and center with the World Cup coming up. A lot of resources are being put into the construction itself, but thinking more in terms of a legacy. A legacy being not just the facilities and the building of infrastructure in buildings, but also infrastructure in terms of capacity. And law is one of those critical areas. So I'm just honored to be part of this wonderful team and working with my colleagues and with Elizabeth and her colleagues in putting this course together. I see, we have some of our students online. If you want to say a few words about yourself and why you're interested in it, we can start. Ajibola, you introduced yourself a few minutes ago, but now that Damalola is here, Ajibola is also from Nigeria. Do you want to say a few words on why you're interested in the course?
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. to talk. Okay, so I'm a law graduate of in basketball. I'm a pro basketball player. So I try to glue my interest in basketball with law together. That's why I'm like, focusing on sports law right now. So thank you for this opportunity. I've been for a long time. Like I saw the I glad to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Great, thank you. I'm just going down the list here. Christopher, looks like you're next.
Hi, thanks. So I've also just finished studying law, and my career aim is to get into sports law. And from what I understand, is that's a really broad topic, and it can include everything from tortious claims to contracts. So, and even in some cases, maybe a bit of criminal. So I'm very keen to get on with this course, and like my colleague just said, I've also been waiting for quite a while to have something quite similar to this course online. So I'm quite excited to get started. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Christopher. We do look at the criminal issues. I know Barry looks at it, and I also look at it in the context of corrupt acts, and Damalola looking at it in terms of possible liability for environmental crimes and things like that. So it does come in to the class. So great. Welcome, David.
Yeah. Hello, I'm David from Mexico. In Mexico, this type of study is very important because the matter is not development. There is much to do, and it is relevant to know various criteria that enrich the knowledge. And for this reason, I'm here in this course because I want to know some criteria, some matters that that are very interested in the world of sports and related in the case of Mexico. That's my goal.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, David. Welcome. Dimitrios. Dimitrios, we need to unmute you if possible. If you can say a few words. There we go. Unmuted. He's unmuted, but I'm not hearing anything. Muted again. Unmuted. Well, Dimitrios, it doesn't sound like it's the audio is working yet. Leah, do you want to chime in, and then we can see if we can get back to Dimitrios?
Oh, okay, sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm Leah. I'm from the Philippines. Unlike you guys, I'm not from the law industry, if you call that. I'm a graduate of a business degree. By day, I'm in the oil and gas industry, but by night or when I'm free, I run my own passion business, which is into sports. I'm a rugby athlete, but my first love is basketball. And I've joined this course because I want to know how to improve the Philippine landscape of sports. I used to have an ACL injury, and it's really the thing with injuries and you know anything involved with that is that no one really looks into the legalities of it or what really goes into what happens to you as an athlete, mentally, emotionally, and physically. So yeah, I'm just really here to learn. Yep. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, Leah. We have a couple of basketball fans then. I'm a big basketball fan too. Khalid.
Well, hi everybody. I'm HPQ, and I'm lucky that everybody knows me here, of professors, all of them my dear professors. I joined sports law because, as I told him, is the Professor Zach before. I like Zach. I like sports, so I think this is a very good exposure for me. And as Mr. Dr. Professor Barry said, Qatar is coming with the World 2022, so it's a good opportunity just to look at how it comes up in the real life.
Great, thank you. And in his abundant free time, he's an architect. So staying very, very busy. Good to see you, Khalid. Dimitrios, I think your mic is now working, you indicated. Let's see if it is.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Perfect. Yes, sir.
Hello to everyone. I'm Dimitris from Greece, and I was interested in the program. I was studying. I'm doing my master studies right now in Belgium, in Leuven. I'm a student of European studies, and basically the relations between EU and Russia mainly. Uh, and I would be very interested to this course because, of course, I love sports. I was watching football since I was like 3 years old, maybe going to the stadium, playing tennis too since a young age. And I was interested as I would like to move to the sports management field to explore this field as I feel I could combine my already acquired knowledge with my passion, which is football and tennis, both of them. So I'm really happy to be here, part of this class.
Great, nice to meet you. Dimitrios, are you in Belgium now then?
No, unfortunately, I'm back in Greece because of the quarantine and all of this stuff. But I'm probably traveling back to Belgium in a month or so, maybe beginning of August.
Great, great. Well, safe travels on that. We know we watch all the lifting of quarantines and restrictions, and we just hope everything gets better. Well, this was a chance for you all to meet some of the faculty, but secondly for us to meet some of the students. And throughout the course, particularly after we have had one module launched for a little bit of time, we'll have a chance to have some roundtable discussions. Professor will be able to have an open session like this, and folks can chime in and ask questions and have a conversation and the like. We'll do that periodically while the course is posted, because in addition to learning the substantive principles, I think the beauty of this is a chance also to get to know each other. We've already made new friends thanks to the course. And I was excited to meet each of you and to know that you're going to be enrolled. And I hope to hear from you again. So we're just grateful that you're participating. And Elizabeth, thank you again for all of your help in putting this together. And again, thank you to my colleagues, and thank you to all the students who have enrolled. And throughout the course, anytime you have any questions, you know how to get a hold of us. Feel free to drop us a line and the like, because we're here to help you learn the content and to be able to answer your questions and to make sure that as you go through the course, you get as much out of it as possible. So thank you very much. Any other comments or questions? Well, great. Oh, Dimitrios has a question. Yeah, I have a question. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So my question is concerning like the amount of work that we will have to have, and the problem is that I'm currently working on my master thesis for the next month. So I think the class is for 8 weeks, right? If I'm correct.
Yes.
So if for the next month I cannot put a lot of effort and I can manage whatever there is to do there for the class, can I do that? Can I go on lightly in the beginning and then?
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, is that it's there for the 8 weeks, and you can go, at your own pace. And I can tell you that it starts out, the first 2 modules are fairly manageable, in terms of if you have a schedule. Professor Kalo's overview, and then the contracts is not that, real intensive, and then it starts to ratchet up. But it's up to your schedule to be able to do that. So.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Oh, we have another person who just joined. Mikhail. Hello. Do you want to say a few words? Mikhail Alishwal. Not quite sure if that connection is gonna work or not. We'll just give it another minute or 2. Feel free to send a note then, Rakaya. Oh, here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from and why you're interested in sports law. I'm Susan. I'm the Dean of Hamad bin Khalifa University College of Law, and we have fellow students and some of my faculty colleagues here.
Yes, I'm intending to join the HBKU, and I got to this announcement about the lecture, and I wanted to know more about the sport, and since I am interested in sport.
Great. And where are you, Rohea?
Sorry?
Physically, where are you? We're trying to get all the countries represented. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a resident at Qatar.
In Qatar. Okay, great. Wonderful. Great. Well, we're glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we have everybody who's been on introduced. And again, a big welcome to navigating legal and commercial aspects of sports. In Doha, the weekend starts in about 30 minutes. And for me, that means a weekend of sport activities, competitions in golf. And I know my colleagues will perhaps be out enjoying some of the sports this weekend too. We happen to have in one of our leagues, we happen to have a former professional footballer, Nigel de Jong, who is part of our golf league, and so I'm learning more about football through him and the like. But I wish everybody a good weekend, and in the meantime, please stay in touch. And thank you so much for enrolling in the program. And again, thank you so much, Zachary, Damalola, and Barry, and of course Elizabeth. Okay. Okay. Bye bye.
Thank you. See everybody soon. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Look at the calls, everyone.
Bye bye. Yeah. Bye bye. Yeah. Bye.